Extreme ride is a ride that's totally out of this world. They're very unique. They're nothing like you've ever seen before.
It's going to make them say, wow. And if you're riding an extreme ride, you're usually going to experience speed, forces, or something that really has power.
An extreme ride is something that pushes the limits. It's never been done before. It goes higher and faster. It's just an awesome ride.
To satisfy thrill seekers' appetites, parks opened more than 2,000 new rides this past year.
Today's visitor is looking for that new thrill. They want the biggest, baddest, fastest, tallest roller coaster or extreme ride.
Every year we aim to introduce something new and something extreme, because an extreme attraction is really what draws people to the park again and again.
In the United States alone, more than 320 million people flocked to our nation's 600 amusement parks, and they took more than 1.5 billion rides.
We're at a whole new dawn of an era when it comes to thrill rides. Our riders have become very sophisticated, and they want bigger and better and more exciting thrills.
To create such an extreme ride that can stand out from the competition, ride designers have devised innovative ride vehicles, novel track elements, unique ride experiences, and revolutionary launch systems.
We're launching to 120 miles per hour now. We're in excess of 400 feet in height. So rides today are just a totally different level than what they used to be.
So hang on tight as we take you around the world to find the tallest, fastest, and most extreme rides on the planet. We'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at the extreme technology that makes these Extreme machines work. And then you'll get to take an exclusive front-seat ride aboard the best of them. Extreme Rides 2003. In the past year, some very daring new extreme rides opened around the world. A monstrous coaster named Colossus set a new world record for multiple loops.
10 inversions. That's a lot of times upside down in just under a minute.
This extreme ride looks like a giant skateboard on steroids. It's the world's first half-pipe. Here in the United States, extreme rides opening this past year included Zonga, a seriously twisted quadruple looping masterpiece of a coaster designed by Anton Schwarzkopf. Six Flags Magic Mountain opened its Sweet 16th roller coaster, Scream, Southern California's only floorless coaster. Holiday World erected the 8-story high Zynga, the world's first giant half-pipe water slide. Having fun while getting wet was also the theme of Hershey Park, which opened the first interactive water coaster in the Northeast, the Roller Soda. Six Flags Elitch Gardens opened the Flying Coaster. It's an import from rider maker Zamperla of Italy and is the only one of its kind. In the South, Six Flags over Texas opened Superman Tower of Power, the tallest drop ride of its kind in North America, 325 feet tall. In the Midwest, Tomb Raider The Ride, a multi-sensory adventure based on the hit movie, opened at Paramount Kings Island. In California, Knott's Berry Farm unveiled La Revolution. Back east, Hershey Park opened a similar new ride called The Claw. It's a 65-foot tall pendulum ride that swings riders 220 degrees in both directions and spins them at 11 RPM. These are known as flat rides because there's no track and it's in a fixed space. Super-sized flat rides began appearing in parks across the country this year because they don't cost as much as a major coaster to build, they fit in small footprints so they don't require much space, and they're very scary, fun, and appealing to all ages.
If the parks can afford it, all these crazy, wacky manufacturers will keep dreaming up new, outlandish concepts.
Following that cue, we're now going to let you explore and ride the biggest, fastest, newest, and best extreme rides out there. We begin our extreme ride tour at Paramount's Kings Island, just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. where the park has unveiled its novel idea of an extreme ride. If you're wondering what this is, you're not alone. It's called Delirium, and it's a brand new thrill ride.
It is called Delirium because that's exactly what it is. An uncontrollable state of excitement and all different types of emotion. Rocketing 137 feet, 13 stories in the air, and then rushing back on the ground at 76 miles an hour. There's nothing else like it on the planet. It's an extreme ride.
The creator of this 140-foot-high tornado is Hus Maschinenfabrik of Germany. Hus developed Delirium out of its popular pirate ship ride that swings 60 feet in the air and wowed guests when it opened at the park here 10 years ago.
So the theme here was to take very popular rides that we had already done and supersize them.
The adrenaline rush begins the second the floor drops out from under your feet and you start to spin.
What makes Delirium so scary is the fact that you have no idea where you're headed next.
The scariest part of the ride is when you're at the very top because you are so high and you're upside down. Everything is just below you. You just feel like you're floating up there. You're face down with it, and you're just kind of dangling there in your harness with nothing between you and ground but that harness and that seatbelt.
I think the scariest part of the ride is when you're coming down and you're being sucked in and you feel everything coming down upon you.
The ride experience is incredibly smooth, like sitting on a giant swing.
Delirium is a very smooth ride. The park made the design very comfortable for the riders. When you sit down, you're very comfortable and you're leaned back and you just smoothly swing back and forth and it's very relaxing.
Delirium riders, how was your ride?
Delirium's ride time is short and sweet, lasting a little under 2 minutes.
Doing that over and over again, 100 seconds is about all you want to do.
This is not nauseating. It's really relaxing. There's such a rush at the same time. It's just such a natural movement in the air. It's like you're flying. It's so great.
Similar to a roller coaster, Delirium does generate G-forces on the rider's body.
When you reach the top of the 120-degree arc, you're going to be negative out of your seat for about half a second. As you start your descent back down, the G's will build and build and build. With speed, you can achieve up to 4.5 G's on the bottom of that arc. And that is a function of how fast that gondola is turning and the swing of the gondola above.
But unlike a roller coaster, Delirium's motions and speed are not powered by the natural forces of gravity.
We have 6 giant motors, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side to power this. There's 480 volt over 200 horsepower apiece for 1,200 amperes of power to lift this giant arm this high in the air. Once we get to the end of each of these pendulum strokes, we notice that the current in the motor is going very high. And then we just pause the motors, let the pendulum arm start to come down, reverse the motors or their polarity, and push it down at the highest speed we can. And the gravity helps us, but we're able to actually push it faster than gravity would bring it to the ground.
Wireless technology is fast replacing hardwiring in thrill ride design, allowing the ride sensors to communicate with the operational computers.
The ride, as it's moving, has information going through the wireless modem. It sends it to a transmitter. The transmitter brings it in through wires to this device up here, and it communicates with both computers. Hard wires on a ride like this would have been virtually impossible to do. There have been too many wires coming down that pendulum. It would have been very hard to communicate with this.
You've heard of riding out a storm. Now it's time to ride inside one on Delirium. Join extreme rider Alan Green as he takes you for the spin of your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Paramount's Kingstown, where we're riding Delirium. My name's Alan Green, and I'll be riding with you today. Here we go. Oh, as we start to spin, we start off pretty slow, and we get faster every single time.
We'll be reaching speeds of 76 miles an hour. Woo! Oh, 137 feet high. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, we're weightless. Oh, so many G's. Oh, yeah. I can see Son of Beast upside down. This is so great. Yeah. Oh, such an extreme ride. Oh, we are so high right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the best ride. Oh, right now we're soaring above everything in the park. Oh, this is so great. Oh, Delirium is such an extreme ride. You've got to come and ride Delirium, located here at Paramount Kings Island in Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh, Delirium is so great. Amazing.
Next, we rocket to the latest extreme ride at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. Dare to test the limits of fear? Take a ride aboard Accelerator. It stands 205 feet high and blasts riders out of the station at 80 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. And that's just the beginning. Take a look at this. Riders soar up a mind-numbing 205-foot 90-degree ascent and then plummet down a 90-degree drop. That's 20 stories straight up and down.
When you look at Accelerator, when you first come into the boardwalk area and you see that 205-foot hill, it's very daunting.
Most terrifying part of this ride is just anticipating the takeoff. The moment you get on this ride, your heart begins racing because you know you're going to take off at a quick speed. You know you're going straight up 90 degrees and straight back down. You're watching those lights, and so you know it's about getting ready to go, and you're waiting for that green light, and that green light hits, and you're gone. You don't even have time to think about it. Once you take off and head up that hill, there's no turning back. Your stomach is already up in your throat. And then you see the world coming right at you. Very extreme.
What's important to the success of a new extreme ride is novelty. Coasters like Superman at Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California, or Hypersonic at Paramount's Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia, shoot riders 90 degrees straight up and down. But Accelerator added a wicked twist.
We do it with a slight twist in the top hat, and we do it with a couple of the butterfly bank turns, which are at a 90-degree angle to the ride, and so the whole package together gives you an extreme ride.
The 50s themed coaster at Knott's features ride vehicles designed to look like 57 Chevys. This $13 million extreme machine, designed by Intamin of Switzerland, also broke new ground with its launching system.
It's always exciting when you're the first to open up a ride that has something unique with a hydraulic launch. That's exactly what Accelerator is. It's the very first of its kind. The launch system on Accelerator is very quiet, and it's also very fast. The train reaches its 80 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds, and it's only on about 150 feet of track before it starts the ascent.
How does Accelerator accomplish this?
Cleverly disguised in the Yeti Brothers Color Specialist building is the hydraulic control unit for Accelerator. You take hydraulic oil, pressurize it to 4,500 pounds per square inch. When the dispatcher hits the two buttons, we deliver 500 gallons of oil in through these motors in 2.2 seconds, which then sends you at 82 miles an hour. Right there, 500 gallons of oil in 2 seconds. We have 3 sets of cables. 2 are the upper cables, which pull you and send the train up the track. We have a lower cable, which is what we call the return cable, and that takes the catch car and returns it right back to the station. What the computer does, it senses the speed of the train as it's coming out of the station. Once it reaches 80 miles an hour, the computer tells the hydraulics it's good, shut down, go back to the station.
No need to worry about a bumpy landing at the end of your exhilarating ride, thanks to Accelerator's innovative and ultra-safe braking system.
This is standard like on any other coaster. You have your road wheel, guide wheel and upstop wheel. But mounted underneath the vehicle are your permanent magnets, 2 permanently mounted brakes. As you start to come down toward the station, you're doing about 30 miles an hour. Magnets pass over these brass brake fins, which then slow the vehicle down to a nice, easy approach coming into the station. These brakes are a new type of braking system that they're using now. These brakes are actually mechanically free. There is no contact with the train itself at any time. And that's why you have such a smooth deceleration when you're slowing down. In the event of a power failure, brake fins will slide in between the permanent magnets, which will then stop the train.
Every morning before the park opens, maintenance engineers inspect the entire structure from top to bottom.
Okay, as I move from step to step, I reach out to the next pipe, clip on, move up 1 step, release with the other hand, and then clip on, and climb all the way to the top. Always being 100% tied off.
Kelly inspects all the bolts on the frame, making sure they're tight and secure. He also checks the track seams, verifying that they are smooth and even. Ready to burn some rubber across Accelerator's 2,202-foot cool coral track? Hold on tight with Extreme rider Raul Cadillo for our front seat ride aboard Accelerator.
Woo! 0 to 82 miles per hour in 2 seconds. Up 90 degrees. 205 feet, you got a great view. Then it's 90 degrees straight now, but it's not over yet. We've got our first high bank turn here. Over 2,000 feet of track onto our second high bank turn. Woo! Definitely a great ride. Smooth stop, smooth finish. Definitely an extreme coaster. Very nice.
Let's blast off our next stop, Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California.
Thrill Shot is an extreme ride. You literally feel like you're being launched to the moon. It's like a rocket launch. I mean, look at it. It's cool. If you ever want to be an astronaut, you should come test this ride out. Then you'll know whether or not you still want to be an astronaut.
The thrill and excitement of being launched to the moon has been one of mankind's greatest quests and achievements. Capitalizing on that adrenaline-filled experience is Thrill Shot, located at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh, fun, is really scary.
Thrill Shot is an extreme ride. It's an intense free-fall attraction with quick speed, very intense drops. When you look at it, it doesn't look like a coaster. You can sure think that it definitely doesn't feel like a coaster, and it's just something that is really unique.
It's also something that's truly mind-blowing. When riders reach the top, there's another scare tactic in store.
There's a time where the seat flips over and you're actually looking straight down to the ground. Feels like you're actually falling towards the earth. You don't know if you're going to hit the ground or not.
The technology behind this ride is very unique, and I think that makes it an extreme ride as well. We're going to launch you well over 200 feet, close to 225 feet, 40 miles an hour, 2.2 Gs of acceleration. All of those things would add up to an extreme experience on anything.
Tim Burkhart breaks down the mechanics of Thrill Shot to show how riders not only experience thrills on this ride, they also get to choose the level of insanity.
One of the great things about this ride that makes it really extreme is that the riders can choose what kind of ride they want. We have 4 different options on the ride. The operator makes the selection with this key switch. The seat will move 45 degrees at a different point while you're up on the ride.
My favorite, personally, takes you up, and then it locks you down, so you get to stare at the ground coming down.
What setting do you want down now?
The 4th one is the craziest one.
That's totally insane. So.
Because it puts you up at the top at a nice right angle, and then you come down facing the ground, and then you go right back up facing the ground, and then the last thing you know is you get tilted up, so you don't see the ground coming down when you're all the way down. That's one of the scariest feelings, but it's exhilarating.
Inside this box, we have the mechanisms that control the gondola and monitor the position of the ride as it's going through its cycle. Here we have a gearbox that actually spins the seats, and the switches that monitor the position so that the onboard computer, which is in this gray box, knows exactly what position the seats are in at any time. And the silver box behind the onboard computer is the power source that drives the gears and takes direction from the controller. The way that this gondola communicates its safety information to the main control system is with a wireless modem. The onboard computers communicate with the main computer that operates the ride. It's a very secure system, it's encrypted, it's secure technology.
Thrill Shot is designed by S&S Power of Logan, Utah.
We're inside one of the 3 towers that launches the gondola for the Thrill Shot. We have a cable here. One end of this cable is attached at the top of this cylinder, about 110 feet long. The other end of the cable is attached to the gondola itself.
Cables are used for this ride, not bungees, due to the load of the ride vehicle or gondola.
We have an air tank here that's attached to the cylinder. When we fill this cylinder with air, it will force the cylinder down, bringing the gondola up for the launch. Then we slowly release the air, let it come down, give it a second shot of air to give it one more launch, and then slowly release the air again so that the gondola comes to a soft landing down on the path. There's only one way to open the restraints on this ride. That's to apply air to the gondola with this hose while it's on the ground. Then we can actuate the controls, and then the lap bars are released. They can be raised, people can get in and out. Once the bars are locked and the air is removed from the system, there's no way that those bars can come up again. Air is used on this ride to make it operate because it's very safe, it's very controlled, there's not a lot of maintenance, there's not a lot of moving parts in this, and we've got a lot of experience with this kind of technology in thrill park rides.
It's an extreme ride just in the way it's built in itself. And we've got 3 260-foot poles, kind of wobbling. It looks like it's a little unsteady in the wind.
Those wavering towers may look frightening, but don't worry, they were engineered to sway.
The towers are designed to have a good amount of movement in them. You want to have the structure itself absorb the forces that are being applied to it, and it will live a lot longer and be more structurally sound. A byproduct of that is that it makes it a far more exciting ride.
People who think that this is too scary, I tell them, you know what, you only have one shot at life, and this is definitely something, if it intimidates you, to just go do it.
Ready to go totally insane? Let's launch into the atmosphere with Joseph Herrera for an extreme ride on Thrill Shot.
Here we go!
Extreme ride! Woo! Yeah!
Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, where we conquer the area's hottest new extreme ride.
It's nothing like I've been on before. It's different because you're laying on your stomach. Riding Superman is like going skydiving. You're free falling off the loop, like coming off the first hill.
Superman Ultimate Flight offers thrill seekers the chance to become their favorite superhero.
Our other coasters, you can ride underneath the track, above the track, but this ride is really the only ride that lets you fly like Superman.
I truly feel like I'm flying like Superman. You put your hands out, and you fly. You go through these bank turns, and the wind is blowing past you, and you're swooping.
There's really nothing that we do in our day-to-day lives that puts our body in that position. I think a lot of people have the desire to fly, and this is sort of a way that we can touch it, even if for only a couple minutes.
While the flying position is comfortable, it's also what gives Superman its edge. Some riders feel vulnerable because the only thing holding them in are the seat harnesses. Adding to the thrill factor are the extreme ride elements.
Riders will climb 109 feet. They will soar 108 feet back toward the ground, flying 50 miles an hour. They immediately go into this great pretzel loop, followed by some great hairpin turns, and rounding it out is this incredible inline roll that really kind of gives people a little surprise at the end, and it's giving you a feeling of weightlessness. Superman Ultimate Flight's most unique element is its pretzel loop, and actually if you look at it from the side, it really does look like a pretzel.
You come down into the bottom curve of the pretzel, you're on your back, heading headfirst down into actually a below ground level dip. And the sensation is something I've never gotten on any other ride, and that's what makes this ride extreme to me.
Flying coasters are a new, unique approach. I mean, think about it. Coasters have been around for over 100 years, so they're always looking for new ways. And we've done it standing, and we've done it looping, and we've done it swinging and suspended. And now this is a new way. Can you do it laying down flying like Superman?
In the year 2000, Paramount's Great America in Santa Clara, California, introduced the world's first flying coaster, designed by coaster maker Vekoma. The latest generation of flying coasters takes the form of Superman Ultimate Flight. It's designed by Swiss coaster makers Voyager and Mabiar, also known as B&M.
Two of the unique features of Superman Ultimate Flight are what allow the rider to be placed in the flying position. One of the features is the tilting mechanism. This channel is driven by a motor up top. Located on each vehicle is a wheel. The wheel rides inside of this track, rotates around this pivot point, and there's a locking pin here in the back, a set of locking pins, that lock the seats in that position. The difference between the B&M and the Vekoma ride is that on the Vekoma ride, the track in the station is below you. The seats sit on top, and when they rotate down, so you're actually lying on your back, facing upward. Here on the B&M ride, the track is above you, and the seats actually rotate upwards.
Passengers go up the lift hill, facing the ground with nothing below them.
Second unique feature is the restraint system. The restraint system has these flaps, which close around the rider's ankles. Also has this soft vest, which holds the rider in place and also provides a great deal of comfort.
With all that safety built in, maybe that's why most riders who are scared to throw their hands up on a traditional coaster can't help but do what feels most natural while riding Superman.
Extreme rides aren't just for the young. I'm 48 years old, I'm a mother of 2 teenagers, and I love these rides. I can't get enough of them.
Let's join Lindsay Reed as she gets her next superhero fix. Hop on board and tilt forward.
We've gone over the top of the lift hill at 109 feet. We're going to drop 108 feet. We're going to go into a giant pretzel twist. Roll over on our back. That is the coolest part of this ride. And we come out of the pretzel twist, and we're going to go around a spiral. You feel like you're flying like Superman, making bank turns and everything. Around a horseshoe turn. Back around through another spiral. Oh, this is amazing. And then we're going to go into a hard line roll. And that is You've got to ride this ride at Six Flags Great Adventure. Woo!
Our Extreme Ride Tour now takes us south to Houston, Texas. And they say in Texas, everything's bigger, even the fly swatter.
You know when you have a fly and you're trying to swat at it? Well, picture yourself on the flat part where you actually swat the fly and you're riding that.
This ride looks like two fly swatters stuck together, whirling around in the air. It's such an unusual looking ride.
Appropriately enough, Six Flags Astroworld in Houston, Texas has dubbed its new extreme ride SWAT.
SWAT is a prototype sky swatter ride. It's the only one of its kind on the entire planet, totally new. It lifts thrill seekers up in the air and catapults them over 100 feet in the air, 3 times forward, 3 times backward, in 360-degree circles and mega somersaults. It's just a very imposing looking ride. When you're standing out in the street, it looks tall. You're watching the motion of the ride. You're watching the people. You're hearing them scream. It doesn't look like the typical roller coaster.
Unlike most coasters, SWAT has 2 loading platforms. 24 passengers load up on each 60-foot end of the fly swatter boom.
Looks like a giant fly swatter, and I just want to try it.
Compressed air technology then lifts the 110,000-pound boom up off the loading platform. The ride begins building up to its 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. In operation, SWAT takes riders 105 feet high. Its impressive design illustrates how ride designers are devising novel and extreme ways to thrill park guests. S&S Power of Logan, Utah, who have developed a reputation for creating extreme thrill rides powered by compressed air, came up with this beauty of a scream machine.
The riders just scream. You can't help it. You're just holding on for dear life. You're feeling the sensation that you're just being catapulted straight toward the earth. It's just an unbelievable sensation.
The most extreme riders take a seat in the back row to intensify the thrills.
You have a real sense of power as the motion of it really picks up. It's kind of like being on the outside of a record compared to the inside of a record on a record player. The outside has a lot more speed, and this is a ride you can really feel the power.
Similar to Delirium at Paramount's Kings Island, SWAT is like a giant swing, delivering positive and negative G's at the bottom and top of its arc motion. But then SWAT takes the swinging motion to the edge, swinging all the way over the top to produce a daring catapult ride experience.
The most exhilarating part of SWAT is when you are being rotated forward and you're virtually catapulted up into the air, and then it wants to slam you towards the ground. You just see the visual rush of the earth coming up to meet your face. I think that's the best rush of the whole ride.
You have to raise this ride through 60 feet of stroke, and air can do that much more quickly than hydraulics do.
Air compressors located next to the ride produce tremendous volumes of compressed air. This air must then be sent through a dryer to remove the moisture. Next, the treated and compressed air is stored in these huge tanks, ready to be sent down underground pipes and into the lift mechanism.
Inside each one of these lift cylinders at the top, there's a piston that's forced down here by air pressure, and it lifts up each trolley using this cable.
Kent Malsby climbs 55 feet to the operational platform so we can see the mechanics of SWAT in action.
Here you can see our counterweight cable as it comes up, and our lift cable, each one coming over their pulleys. You see a little device, that's an encoder. Right now it's telling the speed and the position of each one of the 4 lift cables. Here comes the trolley, and the brushes for the motor are going to engage into the hot shoe, and now and only now the motor has power to operate and rotate the ride.
It takes 2 150 horsepower motors to rotate SWAT's massive boom. These operational elements combine to produce a smooth, fun, and extreme ride experience. Get ready to swat the sky on the world's one and only giant fly swatter. Ronald Branch takes you head over heels for the ride of your life.
Here we go. Okay. we go. Oh, we're going backwards now. Oh, we're upside down. I felt like I was coming out of my seat. Oh, we're going faster. We're reaching top speed of 33 miles an hour. Oh, SWAT. Oh, it is awesome. Oh, we're doing 3 rotations. Whoa. Oh, that was awesome. We did a backwards rotation, but it's not over yet. We're getting ready to go forward. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to hold on again. Here we go. Oh, I can see my house. Oh, here we go. SWAT. Only at 6 Flags. Wow. 30 miles an hour. Oh, awesome ride. I can feel like I'm coming out of my seat. It's like being thrown over something. Oh, we're slowing down. I can feel it. Oh, SWAT. What an awesome ride. Yeah. All right.
Last in our extreme ride tour is Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio, to ride the world's tallest and fastest coaster. In April 2003, the park unveiled our planet's most extreme coaster. Its name, Top Thrill Dragster.
Top Thrill Dragsters, obviously it's a roller coaster, but that's kind of like saying Mount Everest is just a mountain or Michael Jordan is just a basketball player. At 120 miles an hour at 420 feet tall, it's the highest and fastest roller coaster in the world.
$120 miles per hour in 4 seconds. You add that up, that's extremely fast.
Top Thrill Dragster is part of Cedar Point's tradition to introduce the biggest and boldest coasters.
Top Thrill Dragster has pushed the envelope to extremes no one ever thought they would. This goes over 120 miles an hour to where your skin is just rippled. It's amazing that we would even get to 300 feet. Now, 420 feet. Holy mackerel, how high can they go?
If Top Thrill Dragster looks familiar, that's because it's similar to Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm, Cedar Point's sister park. But Top Thrill Dragster has been hypersized to record-breaking proportions.
Head back and hold on.
The adrenaline builds and anticipation mounts as riders realize that they're going to be racing from 0 to 120 miles an hour in 4 seconds. Top Thrill Dragster has been themed after the popular sport of drag racing. So, it doesn't have a traditional coaster lift hill. Instead, it launches right out of the station.
When that Christmas tree turns green and the ride just takes off, it's like, whoa! It's like, what's happening here? And then the next thing you know, you're going up that tower, you're doing that twist, and then you get up to the top of the tower, and you realize how high you are.
Riders shoot up the 420-foot hill banked at a severe 90-degree angle. As the 5-ton trains crest the hill, they slow down just long enough to give riders that floating sensation that coasters deliver so well.
When you get up to the top of the tower, you're going to experience what is called negative G-forces. You're actually going to come out of your seat for that brief period of time. Then, when you come back down, not just going straight down, but spiraling, doing 270-degree twists down that hill, it's like, wow, this is something else. And then coming down to the bottom and crossing that finish line, it seems like you accomplished something. It's like I did Top Thrill Dragster. If I can handle Top Thrill Dragster, I can handle anything.
Complete ride time? 17 seconds, which is why riders may not even have enough time to scream, because before they know it, the ride is over.
I'll admit, the first time you ride it, it's all pretty much a blur. You really need to ride it 2, 3, 4 times to really be a connoisseur of Top Thrill Dragster.
Top Thrill Dragster, designed by Intamin of Switzerland, targets 2 types of Cedar Point guests: the riders and the watchers.
Build a nice grandstand for those that aren't sure yet whether they want to ride or not. They can watch the whole experience. You can kind of watch their faces go when the train goes by. We knew this would be a great spectator ride.
Top Thrill Dragster has many of the same operational devices built into Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm.
There are rare earth magnets on the bottom of each vehicle that go over these down each side, and that's what stops the train. The train cannot move once these are up and into the magnet. So before they launch, all these drop, and as the train's launching down through the track, these pop up in sequence. It's actually more or less an anti-rollback system. If the train does not make the top of the tower for some reason and comes back, these will stop the train from coming back. They're guaranteed 100% stoppage. They're faultless.
Because Cedar Point had limited space for its new ride, the park also chose a launching system like Accelerator.
The hydraulic motor was chosen because it could get us up to 120 miles an hour in the shortest distance, and thus make the footprint of the ride small enough that we could get it into the park.
How can riders safely remain in their seats while rocketing through space at 125 miles per hour? The ride's 5-ton trains feature redundant safety devices.
The lab bar has 2 lines of defense. It has 2 locking cylinders on each side so that no single failure would cause the lab bar to open. The seat is contoured to a human body to give you the best support possible. There's a lot of safety just built into the seat itself.
151 miles of electrical cable and 620 green sensors throughout the track monitor the ride and train operation. In addition, maintenance and inspection are done in every inch of the 2,800-foot track, including the sections that touch the sky.
As you can see, it's very, very windy up here today. That's one of the things that happens when you have the tallest, fastest roller coaster in the world. Every day, we have a maintenance person come up and they do an inspection on the tower. They inspect the structure, the handrails, all the bolts, make sure all the bolts are intact, and just make sure that the coaster is safe and ready for the guests for the day.
Top Thrill Dragster's 151 steel support columns are also checked for structural integrity.
After they tighten the bolts, they put a torque stripe on just to keep an eye on it. That way you can keep an eye if that nut is turned a little bit, that line will be off, and you know there's a problem. We torque stripe every bolt on the ride.
Are you ready to ride the tallest and fastest coaster on this planet? Then buckle up and hold on tight as you take an exclusive ride with Michael Burke.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Michael with my friend Monica, and we're about to experience Top Thrill Dragster, the highest, tallest, fastest coaster in the world. We're about to go from 0 to 120 miles per hour in 4 seconds. All right, here we go.
Up 120 miles per hour! Up 90 degrees! Now we're about to do a twist! We're at the top! Look at the view! As we're about to spin 270 degrees! Down the hill! Alright! We're about to pass the finish line! As we come to a final stop!
Oh, you talking about something that is exhilarating. Come to Cedar Point. Ride this ride. It is a one-of-a-lifetime experience. Excellent ride. Beautiful, beautiful ride.
Now that you've ridden some of the fastest, tallest, and best rides on the planet, let's discover the next generation of extreme rides. Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania will introduce the world's first inverted hydraulic launch coaster in 2004. Stratosphere Casino Hotel and Tower in Las Vegas, Nevada is developing a seesawing skater to be located on the top deck of the 1,000-foot hotel high above Las Vegas Boulevard.
Extreme rides are going wherever the imagination will take you. Whatever you can imagine in your wildest dreams is probably what you'll see in the upcoming years.
Imagination may have no limits, but how far are extreme riders willing to go?
I just don't know if the thrill barrier will ever meet its limit. People are lined up for hours and hours at a time just to get one experience at this big new thing that has pushed the envelope.
I got a feeling just right down the road we're going to be seeing 500 feet and even faster speeds. That's just great. That's more extreme rides for me to go out and enjoy during the summer.
And what this means is that extreme rides are here to stay.
They're only going to get crazier and crazier. As long as they build them, I will come. I will be here with bells on.